Hey guys, welcome to my channel where I upload DIYs and interior design content. My name is Ashley and this is Interior.Break. Alright, so in today's video we're going to be doing a Facebook marketing flip. I went on Facebook and I found this beautiful headboard for free. It was still in good condition. There was no scratches. There's nothing wrong with it. So I was like, we can definitely turn this into a tufted look. So keep on watching to see the end results. So here is the headboard that I found on Facebook Market for free. We're going to go ahead and take this off of the table and bring on our foam. So here I'm just making sure I have enough foam to fold behind the board. Then you're going to cut off all the extra foam. Once it's cut off, you're going to make sure you're going to pull as tight as possible and then staple. Then just repeat this over and over until you've done all around the board. So you want to make sure you do your corners last and you want to pull it extremely tight and get as many staples as possible in. So this part does not have to be perfect, just cut off all the extra foam. And this is how your foam should look like. Now it's time for the material. I ended up just going to Marshall's and I bought 3 meters for $6 each. Here's a tip, use clamps to keep your material in place. Make sure to keep your material straight, especially if you're using pattern. So now we're going to repeat the same step we did as the foam. We're going to pull as tight as possible and staple all around the headboard. So we're just going to cut up all the excess material and boom, now we have our headboard with the material on it. So now it's time to tuff, but in order to do that you need to find the center of your headboard. Once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and staple that. So I already pre-measured where I was going to put my tufts and I'm just using a tape measure just to double check that all my measurements are correct as I go along. And now the headboard is tufted. So I ended up going to Michael's and I got these jewels for $5 each. For this project I ended up using 2 packs. I also got some E600 glue and you're also gonna need a hot gun. So I used the E600 by itself at first and because it takes a long time to dry, it wasn't doing me justice. So I ended up using the hot glue gun and the E600 together. Therefore, I get a quick dry, but I also know that the jewels are not going to be falling off in a week. So now for the back of the headboard, this is for people who want a complete headboard. My suggestion is to go to Home Depot and buy a big hardboard for $10. Cut it out to the shape of your headboard and then just hammer it in with some nails. I honestly just use some scraps, so that's why it looks like this. But I would just suggest just getting a full board and you would have a complete headboard in the back. Alright, so that was the final result. Let me know if you guys like it down below. So let's talk price. So, sorry. The headboard was free, and I highly suggest you guys finding a headboard that is free. The second thing that we ended up buying was the material. So I got my material for $6 a meter, and I ended up getting 3 meters, but honestly I only ended up using 2, so that's up to you. And once again, this depends on what fabrics you guys have at your local fabric stores, and whether you want to cheap out and get a thinner material or you want to get a nice fluffy material. That all depends on you, but I ended up spending $6 a meter. So then the next thing that we ended up getting was the buttons, and I got mine at Michael's for $5 each. But if you guys do want to cheap out, you guys can go to Dollarama. They have like the same ones, a little bit less, more quality obviously, but if you do want to cheap out, that is an option, and I suggest you guys getting 2 packs. The next thing on the list is the foam. So I already have foam, and I have a lot of foam, and here's a little suggestion. If you are ever throwing away your bed or your couch, I highly suggest you keep the foam out of there, because foam is really expensive, and if you're gonna throw it away, you might as well keep the foam, and that's what I ended up doing. So I already had foam at home, but if you do want a very affordable place to go and buy foam, I highly suggest Walmart. Walmart has very good prices for foam because they are expensive, and you're looking at around $25 to $35, I would say, depending on if you get twin size, queen size, or king size. The last thing, which is extremely optional, you can get a hardboard for the back of your headboard. Now, like I said, this is extremely optional. It's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna see the back of it. I personally just had leftover hardboard from so many different projects that I was like, I'm not gonna go buy a new one. So I just put 2 different ones in the back, but you guys can head to Home Depot and get it for $10 for a piece if you want to make your back complete. Basically, the list, it ended up costing me $28. I had some of the materials already, but for you guys, if you're starting from scratch, it can cost you about $68, which I think is still an amazing price for a tufted headboard. They go for like $100 and up. They are very pricey, and at least you can pick your material and the quality that you are looking for. So if you guys like this type of video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at interior.break, and I'll see you guys in my next video.